China's sweeping claims over the sovereignty of the sea have provoked competing claimants Malaysia, Vietnam, Brunei, Taiwan, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Non-claimants like the U.S.A., India, and Japan want the South China Sea to remain as international waters with freedom of navigation, whereas China wants to control this major tradeway. It's a very important sea route with $5 trillion in trade. Half of global merchant shipping and half of the world's oil shipment pass through it. The sea has an alleged 11 billion barrels of untapped oil and 190 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. On July 12, 2016, judges at Hague Tribunal rebuked China's claims over the waters, but China rejected it outright. Japan has issued a new defense white paper that identifies the growing assertiveness of China as Japan's most serious challenge. Prime Minister Abe has also reiterated his determination to use parliamentary majority he enjoys to remove from Japan's constitution provisions which restrict his ability to deploy or use military force. In the last decade, China has aggressively worked to upgrade its infrastructure along the 4,057-kilometer Indo-China border. This has been a major concern for India. Chinese army has even transgressed into Indian territory on multiple instances, and there have been several standoffs. The U.S. has also long accused China of aggressive espionage and reverse engineering. It also claimed China manipulated its currency, which has hurt U.S. interests. In this video, Defense Updates looks at how Japan, India, and the U.S. are taking on China with mutual cooperation.
Number 3.
In Japan, the consensus has been growing that engagement with China is starting to look like it was a mistake. China is building up military assets that look increasingly like they're pointed directly at Japan's interests. Japan has taken some major steps to counter China. 1. Japan's second big helicopter carrier, the Kaga, entered service this year on the 22nd of March, giving the Japanese military greater ability to project power beyond its shores as it pushes back against China's growing military might. Maritime Self-Defense Force commanders took possession of the 248-meter-long vessel at the Japan Marine United shipyard in Yokohama near Tokyo, where it was docked next to its sister ship, the Izumo. 2. Last year in September, senior Japanese and U.S. government officials joined Lockheed Martin to celebrate the rollout of the first Japan Air Self-Defense Force, F-35A Lightning II, marking a major milestone in Japan's enhanced national defense and strengthening the future of the U.S.-Japan security alliance. Japan is to purchase 42 F-35s under a U.S. foreign military sales deal. 3. Japan has increased cooperation with India. Japan has offered a price concession of more than 10% per aircraft from the $133 million per aircraft to around $113 million in government-to-government deal of 12 Japanese U.S.-2 amphibious aircraft for India.
Number 2.
India has been ramping up its military assets in eastern region to counter China. Here are some of the steps taken. 1. The Indian Air Force activating more and more advanced landing ground in Arunachal. It has 6 ALG operational in Arunachal apart from the ones in eastern Ladakh, all with eyes firmly on China. ALGs will provide Indian Air Force with the ability to disperse its fighters in case tensions escalate, and enable it to strike from different positions. For better logistical accessibility, Indian Air Force has landed the U.S.-made huge C-17 Globemaster III in these ALGs. 2. The Indian government has given the final go-ahead for the Army to induct and deploy an advanced version of the BrahMos supersonic cruise missile to prop up its muscle along Indo-China border. As you may already know, BrahMos is the world's fastest cruise missile in operation and travels at speeds of Mach 2.8 to 3.0. This BrahMos Block 3 variant can take a steep dive up to 75 degrees. The steep dive attack capability enables the missile to target Chinese positions behind mountainous terrain. 3. New Mountain Strike Corps, 17 Corps, with headquarters at West Bengal, will be fully raised by 2021 with 90,274 soldiers. The Mountain Strike Corps has been specially raised to defend India's border with China. India is buying the 155mm M777 artillery guns at a cost of about $750 million from America's BAE Systems to equip this corps. 4. With Sukhoi 30 MKI fighters already operating from Assam, the Indian Air Force now has finalized plans for the first 18 Rafales to be stationed in Bengal from late 2019.
Number 1.
The U.S. has taken some major strategic steps to counter China. Here are some of those. 1. U.S. and India have signed an important agreement. The Logistics Exchange Memorandum of Agreement, LEMOA, allows them to use each other's land, air, and naval bases for repair and resupply. The U.S. Navy plans to deploy 60% of its surface ships in the Indo-Pacific in the near future. Instead of having to build facilities virtually from the ground up, as in Afghanistan and Iraq, the U.S. now has the benefit of using the tremendous Indian facilities. The U.S. has a large number of bases around the world, and this will be strategically very helpful for India. 2. U.S., India, and Japan participate in exercise in Malabar. The exercise is conducted only about 400 kilometers from the contested Senkaku Islands. Scenarios include hunting for Chinese submarines, ships, and countering hostile Chinese Navy. The exercise has become a cornerstone of U.S., India, and Japan's strategic partnership. 3. U.S. has increased its presence around South China Sea and will undertake more frequent freedom of navigation operations against Chinese maritime claims around its artificial island bases in Spratly and Paracel Islands. 4. A Marine Corps F-35B squadron has been transferred from the United States to Marine Corps Air Station Iwakuni in Japan, marking the first permanent international deployment of the Joint Strike Fighter. With F-35B, Japanese and U.S. forces will have better capability to face any Chinese attack. China's rise, as predicted by many experts, is not peaceful. In recent times, China has been very belligerent in its posturing. Its activities are far off from being a responsible nation. As discussed in the video, 3 major powers are now working towards countering China. It remains to be seen how the scenarios pan out.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting. Kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.